Hello and welcome. Today's Craft and Chat is all about textile recycling. For this month's craft, we're going to demonstrate how you can transform an old t-shirt into an effective and attractive face mask.
The best way to take care of waste is to not produce it in the first place. Textiles are one of the fastest growing waste items in the United States.
The majority of textiles that are discarded are clothing, although other smaller sources include upholstered furniture, carpets, footwear, bedding, and towels. Nationwide, 85% of textiles end up in landfills. In 2017, that was 16.9 million tons of waste. In Michigan's 2019 report on the state of recycling, textiles fell into the same category as batteries and other miscellaneous recyclables, with a recovery rate of only 5% statewide, which means an estimated 95% of these items are going to landfills. In 2018, a study determined that clothing and household textiles are one of the world's fastest growing waste streams. At the same time, these textiles are also some of the highest value items that go into landfills. Clothing donations are the lifeblood for organizations like Goodwill and Salvation Army, bringing in millions of dollars annually.
When we put these items in the trash, we're losing out both environmentally and economically.
To be clear, although textiles may be repurposed and recycled, we should never put textile like clothing, household bedding, or carpet into curbside recycling carts with other recyclables. In Ann Arbor, only paper, plastic containers, metal cans and pans, and glass belong in curbside recycling carts. Items collected in your curbside recycling cart are taken to a materials recovery center, or a materials recovery facility, also known as a MRF, where they will be sorted and resold to manufacturers. The machinery used at the MRF is not designed to handle fabrics, but that shouldn't stop us from finding creative ways to repurpose and recycle fabrics.
We can use other community resources to make sure that our textiles don't become landfill trash. In the Ann Arbor area, we have a number of options.
Many communities around Michigan offer similar opportunities, such as clothing drop-off sites at local convenience stores, Goodwill or Salvation Army stores, regional nonprofits, churches and schools running clothing drives for those in need, or for-profit businesses, such as Simple Recycling, which provides textile pickup service to 30 communities in Michigan. The organizations receiving your donated household textiles don't care if fabric is worn or torn or stained, as long as it's clean and dry when donated. They'll sort through the material and, depending on its condition, group materials for different uses. A donated item may be designated for resale at a clothing store, may be shredded to become filler, recycled into new garments or new fibers, or, if fit for nothing else, may be turned into rags or burned as fuel. About 10 to 20% of the clothing donated is resold in American thrift stores. As much as 45% is sent overseas to be sold as secondhand clothing in other countries. And 20% is recycled into new products or post-consumer fiber, such as recycled fabric, insulation, padding, or filler. We've talked about opportunities that we have in Michigan to repurpose used fabrics. We can also help to reduce textile waste by supporting the other end of the system, choosing to shop at resale outlets or buying products made from recycled fibers. As more people do so, we create greater demand for these products and a greater incentive for manufacturers and retailers to use recycled fabrics.
Reducing waste and saving landfill space aren't the only benefits of textile recycling.
The recycling and reuse of fabrics can significantly reduce other environmental impacts associated with the textile industry, such as greenhouse gas emissions, water use, and toxic chemical emission.
So, the next time you find a hole in one of your socks, have outgrown one of your sweaters, or can't find a use for a set of old towels, remember that someone else can, and make the effort to find these fabrics a new home. Face masks have become a necessary accessory for staying safe in 2020 and a gesture of care to those around us. So grab the kids for some fun family time. No sewing required. Let's make a face mask.
Hey everybody! Today we are going to try making a no-sew homemade face mask.
Out of an old t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Neato! For today's recycled craft, you won't need much. An old cotton t-shirt that you're ready to cut up and use for something new. A ruler to measure with, and a pair of scissors or a rolling blade that can cut fabric. Okay, so we start off by first cutting off this thick part that's at the end. Would you like to do that with scissors, or would you want to use this roller?
I love cutting stuff.
Okay, stop a minute. T-shirt. And to make the mask, we want to make the strip inches wide. So we'll make a snip here. And we'll make another snip here. And you want to try to cut from one notch to the next notch, as straight as you can. This is the piece that's going to be our mask.
That's big.
Yeah, it is big, but it's going to cinch up once we put the straps on it and stuff.
What's that
So,
mean?
it's gonna pull up tighter.
Okay.
It's gonna get more of a shape once we pull it together. The next piece is to make, these are gonna be your ties. And this strip is about 20 inches long, so you want to make sure it's about 20 inches long. And what we're going to do is, here, you want to snip this? Snip it at one end here. So we need it's all in a loop right now, but we need 2 ties. So we're going to measure this down, and let's snip it at this end as well. Okay, we've got this loop of fabric here now, and what we're going to do is we're going to, hooray! Use it to make our mask a little thicker, to have multiple layers, and if you want, you can actually put a filter in between these two pieces. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these ties, and you can do this with the other one. You want to kind of stretch them out so that they turn into kind of strings. Just kind of pull on them and stretch them, and then they'll actually look more like strings, stretchy strings. Okay, looks good. Now, what we want to do is we want to place them on your mask about 4 inches from the edge. So you take yours and about 4 inches in from the edge. There you go. All right, and we want to make them nice and even.
Even Steven.
Now that we have the 2 strings, what we do, we've laid them on here. We want to fold this over.
Ooh.
And you want to fold that one over. And actually they should overlap a little. So we're going to have to move our strings in a little. There we go. You want it to overlap in the middle a little bit because that's what's going to help the mask hold together well once you get it onto your face. All right. Whoop. Not too far. Not all the way over. There we go. Like that. This is going to be the top tie that we're going to put up around our head. So we want to go ahead and tie it into a knot first. Do you want to try and do that?
Okay.
And the way that we're going to put this mask on, do you want me to demonstrate on me or on you?
On me.
Okay. The way we're going to do it is kind of hold it up to your face and put it over your nose. Okay, hold it to your nose. Put your, there you go. And then I'm going to bring it around behind your head. And then here, let's turn this way so that people can see what I'm doing behind. So I'm pulling the strings nice and tight. Don't pull it away from me. There you go. To cinch it up so that it's nice and snug. And then I can tie this. Does it feel like it's going to stay on your face now?
Yes.
Okay. And then I can tie this just with a little bow that could then be taken off pretty easily, especially with a kid. All right, let's turn and look at it. And it's a nice, snug face mask. This one is a little bit big on your face, I would say. It's actually, we cut an adult size, and what I would probably do is, when instead of cutting it 8 inches, I would cut it 6 inches for a kid. Shall we see what it looks like on me? Okay, so I've tied my top here, and then I can take it up, hold it over my nose, and put this over my head, and then down here, these ties are what are going to keep it on my head in the right place by cinching it up like this. And it wraps nicely.
It looks good on you.
Thank you. So, here I go. I've got my trusty mask that you made for me. Thank you.
You're welcome.